All across the Paldea region, ancient towers rise above the sprawling landscape. Could they be platforms from which you take off with Koraidon or Miraidon and glide over the region? Are they simply vantage points that the player must climb in order to expand their map? Or will these towers perhaps have a more significant purpose in the story of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet? Today I want to discuss some theories surrounding these mysterious towers seen all over the Paldea region and give my personal thoughts on what secrets they might hold. Apologies if I sound a bit rough in this video. My body decides it's time to get sick and I'm still sorta recovering, but I'm feeling good enough to finally talk about what we saw in the latest trailer, so if you're all as excited as I am, don't forget to munch that like button, and let's begin with the most popular theory I keep seeing online. The towers are vantage points that you must climb in order to unlock more parts of the map. You've probably heard of the term Occam's razor before, but in case you haven't, it's a philosophical principle that says the simplest answer is often the best. And I think that's what's happening here, with the majority of people believing the towers are simply waypoints similar to those found in other open world RPGs like Breath of the Wild or Assassin's Creed. And while that could be one of their functions, there's quite a bit of evidence found in the latest news release suggesting there's more to these towers. Let's hop over to the map of Paldea, where I've highlighted all the towers I was able to spot for a total of 14 across the region. Well, technically 15, because in the top right corner there seem to be 2 towers right next to each other, which already brings up a few questions, like if these really are map unlocking points, why are they so close to each other? And how would you divide the areas each tower unlocks? So I tasked myself with doing just that and trying to divide the whole region into sections based on the locations of each tower, and yeah, it gets pretty messy. Specifically with the 2 aforementioned towers and 2 more located to the east of the main city, where you can see they're both clearly in the same red-dyed canyon biome, making them kinda hard to separate. There's also the windmill-ridden area to the west, which seems to have no tower at all, unless it's blocked from view behind this mountain due to the perspective of the map. And that's my first bit of evidence against these being like the towers found in other RPGs, because the space between some of these just doesn't make sense. I mean, heck, you can see just how close the 2 towers in this screenshot are to each other, and this is taken from up in the lakes area where the towers actually have a bit of breathing room, so imagine how close these 2 in the canyon would have to be. I should note there are also 4 lighthouses spotted in the north, south, east, and west of the region, which could also be considered vantage points since you can easily fly off the top of them with your legendary. These lighthouses have also been featured a few times in the trailers, implying that they might be more important than they seem at first glance, and you might have also noticed something shiny on top of one of them. But I think it's just an emblem showing the 4 cardinal directions in which the 4 towers are located. If you count these 2 towers from earlier as one and the same, plus add the 4 lighthouses, that brings our grand total to 18 towers, which coincidentally is the number of Pokemon types currently in existence. Like I said though, there could be 1 or 2 more towers hidden out of view, plus technically there's 15 towers unless this one in the desert is out of commission, so the real total tower count could be anywhere between 15 to 21, so yeah, I think it's just coincidence. Next, I want to talk about the 3 grand stories of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. In case you missed it, the latest trailer revealed that not only will we be tasked with taking on the 8 gyms in Pokemon League, as is par for the course in the main series, but in these games we'll have to complete 2 more adventures in order to finish the story. The second trailer actually gave us a major hint at what these 2 other quests might involve, as we see a gym stadium followed by these race flags found across the region, and finally, one of the notorious towers we've been talking about this whole video. The third trailer featured a similar segment of back-to-back shots with the gym challenge, followed by the race flags, and then a lighthouse, which I already mentioned might play a similar role to the more ancient-looking towers. The fact we have 2 very similar segments in 2 different trailers leads me to believe that these are hints to the 3 grand stories. The first is already confirmed to be the gym challenge. The second story will likely involve some kind of racing, judging by these flags and the turbocharged school bus. And I believe it's pretty likely the third and final story will have something to do with these mysterious towers. At last, this brings us to the treasure hunt. The whole theme of the third trailer revolves around this treasure hunt that the director of the academy wants all the students to take part in. We don't quite know what this treasure is yet, but the website says we'll have to travel across all of Paldea to discover it. And what else is found all across the region? Gas stations, duh! I mean, seriously, there's some towns that have 2 gas stations right next to each other. Like, how much fuel are these legendaries guzzling, man? I thought Miraidon was an electric vehicle at least. Okay, jokes aside, I'm thinking the towers might not exclusively have to do with the treasure hunt, but they're definitely more important than just ways to unlock the map. So let's finally get into my own theory for what they could be. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet represent the past and future respectively, and as such, there's been a lot of speculation around the addition of past and future forms, also referred to as Paradox Pokemon. I personally think these rumors will most definitely end up being true, and these ancient towers are likely where we'll encounter these Paradox forms. The towers are spread across the region in pretty much every type of biome, which could match with the type of Pokemon found on top. For example, a futuristic form of Tyranitar might guard the desert area, while an ancient form of Amoonguss would more likely be found in the forest. This theory could also explain why some towers are so close to each other, as there are a few Pokemon rumored to have both a past and future form. So perhaps the 2 towers in the canyon could fit a set of ancient and futuristic Volcarona. But rounding up these time-traveling beasts might not be as simple as just climbing up and defeating them, as in the third trailer we have a similar sequence of 3 clips involving the 3 stories. However, instead of an ancient tower, the third clip here shows our character gathering a glowing pink plant alongside one of the new rivals, Arven. This character is described as being a second-rate battler, but a top-notch cook. So maybe this plant is a key ingredient in a special dish he'll help us prepare. A dish which is meant to lure in the Paradox Pokemon, similar to the bombs we used against the noble boss Pokemon of Legends Arceus. There's been a rumor that the Paradox Pokemon have an ability similar to the Ultra Beasts, which if you don't know, raises their strongest stat when they knock out a Pokemon. But maybe it's closer to the Totem Pokemon also found in Alola, which raised their stats as they entered the battle instead. So we might need to craft a special item in order to match their ferociousness. Regardless if Arven or this glowing plant have anything to do with it, I believe these towers will be where we encounter these past and future forms, and after defeating or calming them, we'll get a cutscene where the area around us is also calmed. Take a look at this screenshot of our character heading up the tower. The sky is cloudy and sinister looking, which could just be because it's raining, but compared to this screenshot after conquering the tower, it seems like the land around us has been cleared of any chaos that might have been caused by whatever was on top. Perhaps the Paradox Pokemon are causing some kind of space-time distortion like those found in Legends Arceus, and as we defeat them, it cleanses the area around the tower. Getting rid of the space-time distortion could also explain why more of the map gets unlocked, as many people have been speculating. Of course, this whole theory hinges on whether or not these past and future forms actually do end up making it into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which based on the rumors and leaks seems pretty likely, and if you'd like to check out a video talking all about that, I will link it at the end of this one. Let me know what you think the mystery of these towers might be, and if you think past and future forms will actually make it into the Gen 9 games. Thank you so much for watching, hit that like button if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video.